everyone. Slightly different video from me today, but I thought it would be fun to document my knitting journey. I decided at the end of last year that I would really love to learn a new skill in 2024, and particularly one that is quite arty, quite creative, and stops me just scrolling on my phone. Like something to do with my hands that isn't scrolling on my phone, because I think we're all guilty of just wasting hours of our day away on the internet, and I want to do something productive with my time when I'm chilling. And so I decided knitting was the thing that I wanted to learn. I ordered some wool, I ordered some needles, and they arrived 10 days ago. In 10 days, I have almost finished knitting. I can't quite get across how excited and proud of myself I am for doing this. In those 10 days, I have taught myself how to knit, and I have what is the plural of knitting? I have knitted my first scarf. I say knitted, I've got a little bit left to do. I've got this much wool to use up. That will probably take about 20 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes to finish. But I haven't yet taught myself how to cast off. I have quite a few things I would like to learn to knit over the next month or month and a half. So I thought it would just be fun to document this and learn together, and also so that I have somewhere to collate all the resources that I found super helpful. Because when I shared that I was learning on Instagram, so many of you guys were like, please can you send us the best videos, the ones that have like helped teach you to learn to knit. And I actually got my knitting kit from Wool Couture, and whilst I really recommend their wool, I think it's such nice quality, I wouldn't recommend their kit because it's just paper instructions. I can show you those. Paper instructions just have not been helpful for me. I've actually taught myself how to do this all via YouTube videos. So in the description of this video, I'm going to link every video that I found super helpful for each stage of knitting. So there's one on how to cast on, there's one to do a knit stitch, one to do a purl stitch, there's one that I found super helpful on how to start adding, like how to add a new ball of yarn. And also I'm going to need to research now and find one that helps me cast off and also like thread all these excess pieces in, because this is where I have started a new ball of yarn and I don't know what you're supposed to do with these bits after you've finished. I think you have to sew them through, but I don't know how to do that yet. So this is just going to be a video of me learning how to knit. After the scarf, I might want to do another one just to practice even more. But I also would love to learn how to do a beanie hat, and I would love to learn how to knit a sweater vest. That is the goal. And then maybe if I get really good at it, I'll be able to knit like a jumper would be insane, and a cardigan would just be unreal, and I would really love to make this a hobby of mine. So yeah, I am gonna just finish off this scarf. Let's learn how to cast off and what to do with the rest of these little bits of fabric. I also thought I would show you what all my knitting supplies so far. So I've been keeping them in this little wicker basket. We can go through this. Okay, so in here I have the Wool Couture kit. I have a needle here that I'm going to be using in a sec. And this was the manual kind of instructions that originally came with the kit. As I said, I haven't found these very helpful. I have got some extra knitting needles. I accidentally ordered 2 sets of 15mm chunky needles, and I've actually going to be returning these to the post office because I don't need 2. I ordered a 6.5 because I read that that might be good for knitting a jumper. What size are these? These are 5mm, and I've just started experimenting with casting on with this wool that I think I got from Amazon. I love this because it's kind of like a gradient rainbow pastel yarn, which I think is so fun. I have some purple, yellow and pink. I think these are from eBay. I'm going to leave links to all of these as well so you can shop them very easily. So after purchasing these 2 needles, I actually yesterday ordered from Amazon a proper knitting kit with like every size needle in it, because I just realised that for the projects I want, I need a range of them, and it would be probably cheaper to buy it in a set, so I'll show you that when that arrives. I've got some circular knitting needles, chunky 15mm. I think this was for a blanket that I wanted to do at some point. This is the wool that I'm using for my scarf. It's the cheeky chunky wool, merino wool, 100% merino, wool couture in the shade olive. And then finally I also bought myself this. This is a crochet beginners kit, and it's to make these little crochet cacti in plant pots, and I just thought that was a really nice present for someone, maybe next Christmas. Like my niece might enjoy having one of those in her bedroom, and I thought it'd be a good way to learn crochet as well. So that is also something I will be learning this year, but in a different video. I'm gonna pack all this away, and I've actually got some video of me first learning how to cast on and knit, so I'll insert some of that footage here as well. Okay, so I've got my wool, I've got my chunky 15mm knits, and I learned how to do a slip knot. I learned how to cast on, much easier than I thought. It's honestly taken me about an hour to learn how to actually do the knit stitch, but if you can see that, I've just done my first one. So I'm going to keep going with this, and I'm just very excited because I feel like I'm understanding it now.
That loop, and we're just going to scoop it off. So we've got the right needle here.
Oh my god, I'm knitting.
Just going to go through the loop again and scoop it off like this. So one more time on the third stitch here, you go through the loop along the back side.
Knit.
Take your
yarn.
That
bit's really loose.
If you pinch, I've got my thumb and my pulling off that loop off the left needle.
Oh, fucked it. Fucking hell.
All knitting.
As I said, I'm a beginner, so some like knitting professionals might be watching what I'm doing here and being like, that's not how to do it. I don't really know, like I'm still learning. Apparently my tension's quite good, someone on Instagram said, so I'm happy about that. But I know that there's probably an easier way to do this, and as I do it more, I will get more confident with it. My main tip for any of you watching who really want to get into it but are really struggling, because I'm not gonna lie, the movements feel so kind of alien at first, like it doesn't make any sense, and it does take a little while. Oh god, see, when I'm talking sometimes I make mistakes. Best tip is just to keep at it, don't get too disheartened, and keep practicing, don't give up, because there are so many times where I felt like, oh, I'm never going to be able to get this, but now look at me, I've got nearly a whole scarf here. I've also ordered some more wool to come because I want to make my husband a scarf, probably for next winter, and he wanted like a chunky black scarf with little like dots of pink running through it. I, as a beginner, have no idea how to freaking do that. I've tried looking for black fabric that has specks of pink, but I can't find any. But I've seen that there's a technique where you can use 2 wools and only incorporate one when you want it. I have no idea how to do that, so again, that will be something that I learn over the course of the year. Also just going to watch Downton Abbey whilst I do this. I feel like such a granny right now. Think now I am ready to cast off. I just had to Google how much like length yarn do you need left before you can cast off, because I don't want to waste this if it can go for more rows, but the general consensus seems to be that you take your yarn and it wants to be like 3 to 5 times the width of your project. So if I was to do that, I'd go 1, 2, 3, and then I'll do 4 just to be safe. 4, and then I'd have this much left at the end. So yeah, I think I'm at the right point now. I've just watched a tutorial and it looks really, I mean, it looks simple but also looks quite difficult. Found a tutorial by Sheep and Stitch. This has had 4.6 million YouTube views, so a lot of people love this YouTube channel, and I think I have watched some of their videos before, so I'm just gonna watch it and give it a go. And by the looks of it, I have to do the first 2 knits as normal, so I'm going to do that. 1 and then 2.
What we're going to do is we're just going to take this stitch and bring it over this stitch. One,
wait,
literally just pull
wait. I can't even do that.
Take this stitch and bring it over this stitch.
Over.
Okay, so I'm going to use my left needle to help me out.
That
I'm going to go into this stitch, all right, the first one, and literally just pull it over the second one. Drop it off, and there we go. So now I have 1 stitch on my right.
Cool.
All right.
Oh my god, I'm doing it!
1.
Right, I'm going to try and do all of this. I'm definitely going to have too much thread left, which is sad. Oh my god, I'm so excited to be able to wear the scarf now tomorrow, because this means I'm finally going to be able to wear it out the house. Look, I've got an edge! This is so cool. I'm so excited. I might cry. Oh my god, I feel like I'm doing this quite quickly, considering, but we haven't got to the end yet, so can't speak too soon. Oh my god, that is beautiful. Can you see that? That is so pretty. Oof, you guys, look how much yarn I have left. That's nothing, and I've still got another stitch to do, so that is definitely right. 4 to 5 lengths of fabric for sure to finish casting off. I'm very glad I didn't knit another row, because I would have been buggered. Right, so for the last stitch, I've got to do something slightly different. I need to re-watch.
10 inches or so. There we go.
Okay, I've got 1 stitch. Look at that!
And now my yarn is loose. Pull it through, tighten it up, and voila!
No!
Our little swatch is off the needles. How cool is that?
Shit!
It's not attached
No,
to its little...
Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no! I've got it off without securing it. I think that's on. I've thoroughly fucked this. Okay, I think I fixed it. I've just got to do it again now. Stressful. This is so stressful. I'm not going to have any fabric left. Okay, let's try that again.
It up, and voila! Our little
Pull it through where?
End. Pull it through.
Wait.
Tighten it over that tail end. Pull it through.
What?
Tighten it up.
How does she do that?
Stitch and bring it over that tail end. Pull it through. Tighten it up, and
oh, there we go, I've done it. It's off. It's a scarf. Oh my god, how exciting. I can't believe I did it. Maurice, what do you think? What do you think? Do you like it? Yeah, you love it. He has loved watching me knit, haven't you? It's like fun for you. Very happy. Are you proud of me? Good boy. Right, now I need to learn what to do with all these little loose threads in it. Okay, you guys. She's done. Look, look, look. Okay, so it's not a perfect attempt in the slightest, and I've learned so much doing it. I'm kind of sad about all the mistakes in it, but at the same time I know that it's kind of, it will be nice to look back on as my first piece and to see how much I've improved since then. So yeah, there are a lot of mistakes. I started off with 20 stitches and I somehow ended up with 23 around here, and you can tell that because of this hole, which I'm hoping to like sew on a little love heart or something, just to make it more of a statement piece. I know how I did that. I think I attached the loop I was supposed to cast off onto the knit. So annoying. And then I learned that can't do, I think this is called a stockinette stitch. I don't think you can do that stitch on a scarf because it like curls in like this, and it doesn't lie flat like a normal just knit or purl stitch like this. This bit was the end, and I actually made loads of mistakes here. I think I dropped a stitch here, and I think it's very obvious where I've started a new bit of yarn because I haven't learnt to thread it in that well. Let me find an example. I just think it's a little bit obvious here that it's got double, like a double row there, like excess knit, because it's such a chunky fabric. It's very easy to tell. And yeah, I changed quite a lot between stitching types. Like I learnt how to stitch, I learnt how to do this ribbed stitch, and then I went back to normal and decided to do this the stockinette on the other side, like there and there, and I thought that would be nice, but actually it just looks a bit messy. So it's not perfect, but I'm so glad I get to wear this out. Like, it's not the best, but for my first attempt I'm very happy. So we've completed this project, we're one project down. I now maybe next am I going to teach myself how to do beanie, maybe. We shall see. It's a Friday night and I'm going to teach myself how to do a long tail cast on. I found a video on the internet. I've got this white wool which says it's actually acrylic, just to learn on. And I actually picked this up in a charity shop for 75p, which I was quite excited about. I need a 4.5mm needle, which I've got here. And yeah, I'm going to teach myself how to do the long tail cast on because it seems to be a very popular one that I need to learn.
Tighten it up.
Oh wait,
right.
what?
Now with the long tail,
I have taught myself 3 different ways of doing the long tail cast on. I think the one that you've just witnessed is my fave, but I've also learned this one where you go like that, and then you go like that, and then you go like that. It kind of gives the same, exactly the same effect. So yeah, pretty proud of myself. That was successful. I'm just doing a swatch for this white yarn. We're out and about in this vlog. I have decided, I've done a lot of research and I've got a couple of projects that I want to get started and cast on, but I need to do a lot of prep before I get there, and the first prep is getting the right tools that I need for the job. So I've written down, I've got on my notes on my phone, I've got the patterns and I've got all the yarn and all the needle sizes that I need for them. And I've come to Hobbycraft, which in the UK is like the coolest, biggest craft store. They have every kind of craft in there, and it's really the only place I know near me that does like knitting stuff. I need to find a good haberdashery near me. If anyone knows of any in East London that isn't a chain, let me know, because it'd be great to support some more small business with my knitting. But to kick it off, I just wanted to go into a physical store rather than online, so I could feel the different types of yarn and fabrics and but really just get a feel, because I haven't actually done that yet. I still don't know. When I read some of these pattern guides and like watch YouTube videos and they talk about different fabrics, I don't really know what that feels like or what the difference is. So yeah, I've come to Hobbycraft. We're gonna go in and we're gonna buy some yarn and maybe some circular needles as well, and I also need a couple of bits for other crafty things at home. I need some card backing for some frames for a gallery wall as well, so I might also vlog some of this for my weekly vlog. We shall see. Oh my god, that's amazing. God, I found the goods and there's like 6-7 aisles of it. I'm so excited. Wow, some of this is so nice. Ooh, this is Aran. Okay, I've been reading a lot about that, but I don't know what it is. Soft and chunky. Oh my god, look all the colours. I'm so excited. Whoa, cute. I basically am struggling because I can't find the exact yarn types I need, and I don't know what to substitute them for because I haven't done my research properly. So I'm really excited for my books that I've ordered to arrive so I can really learn the basics, because I feel like this would be what I want, and it's a nice colour for the jumper I want to make, but the weight of the yarn is different to the weight of the pattern. I don't know if that makes sense, so I'm just struggling. So I've got a couple of bits I'm going to take. Yeah, this has been a bit of a fail. I'm just not prepared enough and I don't know my research enough. Oh. Yummy party rings. I found these buttons that I'm going to use for my cardigan. Yummy, I love them. Thank you. I thought we'd go through some of the bits that I picked up yesterday on my yarn shopping day. So I've got it all in a tote bag here. As I said, I was really struggling in that store because one of the patterns that I purchased is very obviously now that I've studied it, it's very obviously an American pattern, and that's because it is done using a yarn that isn't sold in the UK, a light sport weight yarn, which in the UK isn't a thing. It says 3-ply, and I think I could get a 3-ply in the UK, but it was so hard to find in the store. So that's what really threw me, because I just, yeah, couldn't find any of what that meant. I didn't understand what that meant. It also says 246 yards per 50 gram skein. And none of those like measurements I could find in one particular yarn either. And the yarn that she's suggested using is only available in America, so I'm gonna have to like go on Reddit and chat to some people and find out what the equivalent is in the UK and just buy it online. Because I honestly spent like an hour going up and down those 3 aisles getting into a right twizzle, and I did consider asking some ladies who were also shopping for yarn because I thought they might be a bit more knowledgeable than me, but I wimped out. But I did pick up some bits. Oh, also I also couldn't pick up any of the fabric for the other pattern that I'm going to knit, because I really wanted to get the same tool that the pattern called for, and it is sold in Hobbycraft, but they'd completely sold out of it. So I'll show you my patterns in a sec because I've printed them out. But what I did pick up was this I just find myself being so attracted to the bright, colourful rainbow yarns. You'll see that in a sec. But this is Rainbow Brights Ombre knitting yarn, great for beginners and experienced knitters. Strong, holds its shape and soft, and it is very soft. And it's a 4mm needle and 233 meters in length. It doesn't give me a gauge swatch on this, but and it also doesn't tell me like what ply it is. So this is what I mean by like 3 ply. What does that mean? And I also picked up 2 of these super soft, fluffy yarns. These are, I can't tell you how soft they are, and they're like barely there. So I got this so I could like knit it alongside a normal kind of cotton or acrylic, and it would make it a little bit more fluffy. And I just thought this was a nicer colour than just white. I thought it might go with kind of all kind of colours of yarn. It's like an off purple. I don't actually know what colour this is, but it does give me a gauge on there. It says 4mm crochet hooks and or needles, 390 meters and 10 by 10, 22. Yeah, anyway, it tells me that. And then I also got the same in a hot pink, because did I mention that my husband wants a black scarf with like little flashes of hot pink for it? Because I thought this might be a really great way to add a little bit of pop of colour, because it's so soft and kind of sparse, mixed in with a chunky black. You might not be able to see this throughout the whole thing, but little pops of it will come out. So yeah, I'm really happy with both of those. They're so soft. I got some needles. I also ended up popping into the Range, which is another kind of huge warehouse store that sells absolutely everything, and I found this kit in there. They had loads of like big knitting kits. Oh, sorry, the door's going. It comes with the needles, which I don't really need. These look kind of cheap, but I really liked this kind of pastel rainbow, and I thought this might be quite nice to make like a rainbow scarf, or at least practice with some colour work and like patches. I'm not really sure, but I'm really excited about this. And it's the same, it's actually the same brand as this one. One of the patterns I chose is a cardigan which has some buttons down it, and so I chose this button, gold with kind of like a pattern on it. I need 7 and they only came in sets of 5, so I've got some buttons left over from that, and some needles as well I picked up. So I've got some cable stitch needles, 2 different sizes, and I need this for one of my patterns. I've got this for one of my patterns, circular needle, 5mm, 80 centimeters long. Got some 5mm needles, 4mm, 4.5 and 6.5 as well. And I thought I would just experiment with these with like aluminium, like metal and plastic, because I've only used wooden needles so far. And I'm finding the kit that I ordered from Amazon, which I still haven't shown you, it's kind of like, it's not a smooth wood, it's quite a rough wood, which is good, I guess, if you've got like a super slippery yarn fabric, but I find it keeps catching on my fabric and like pulling the strands apart. Maybe it's a cheap wool that I'm using. I just thought I'd experiment with some different kinds of needles to see if that was any easier. So yeah, I've got all of this. I'm very excited about trying the circular ones. Also picked up some super glue. That's for other crafty projects. So I also wanted to show you the patterns that I'm going to be making, and I think I'm still waiting for my wool to arrive. Don't know how long that's going to take, so I think I'm going to have to do a knitting part 2. Maybe I'll just make this a regular series on my YouTube channel throughout the year, so they're in like installments, and then at the end of the year I can do a video of everything I've knit in 2024. Bought loads of patterns yesterday, and I just printed a couple off because one of the videos I watched on YouTube said you should have your pattern printed out in front of you so you can like cross out and make notes, just so you can keep on top of it. So the first pattern I've got is from a girl called Vicky Knits. Her Instagram account is amazing, and this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like a high roll neck sleeveless sweater vest, and I've got to say I absolutely love the instructions. She makes it like so easy to kind of follow along. She's got links for like a knit along video, and she's also got links for like how to do every particular part of the pattern, and then pictures as you go, which I'm not sure I'm going to find very helpful. But the pattern, oh my god, I need to like learn how to read this because it looks baffling to me at the moment. But that's apparently an easy beginner's sweater to knit. And then I also got another one of hers. I got Vicky's vest knitting pattern, so it's more of like a double colour kind of ribbed, cuffed, I'm not really sure what you call that. It's like this. I think her colours, I printed this black and white, but her colours was like red and hot pink, and it looks so cool. So I highly recommend having a look at her Instagram because it's so cool. And then the other one I got, the American pattern that I purchased, is this. I got it from a brand, I think, a website I think called Ravelry, or it might have been loveknits.com or something like that. But it's called Nancy's Vest by a woman called Carol Sunday, and it looks like this. And this is what I need the buttons for. So just a very simple sleeveless sweater cardigan. I haven't ordered the fabric for this yet, but I'm thinking a grey or a black, just because I want to get loads of wear out of it, and I tend to wear those colours quite a lot. Again, this is like a beginner's pattern, but this is the one that needs light sport weight yarn, and it says substitute any light sport weight yarn that works nicely to gauge, but I have no idea. I have no idea what that means, and the instructions of this are not quite as fun. It's more like a mathematical algebra, I don't know, but yeah, it looks really nice, and I like how you can layer it up underneath a shirt. So that is what I'm going to be knitting going forward. So I also ordered a couple of second-hand knitting books. Only one of them has arrived for some reason, but it's called Knitting Without Tears. I just had a flick through, and I'm absolutely in love with this because I purchased my books from worldofbooks.com, which is like a second-hand bookstore. And the reason that I love this is so much is there's like someone's gone through and like underlined loads of stuff, made little notes alongside the patterns to help future people. But yeah, I watched a video on YouTube where someone was like, this is a great book like to start. Note, the whole sweater is knit in the round. Oh, I love it. I love seeing someone else has loved books, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of read out this. So I'm going to read that and then read the other one when it arrives. And then before I close this video off, let me show you my knitting kit that I bought from Amazon and show you what I'm currently working on at the moment. Oh, it's bright in here. It is a bit of a mess at the moment, but I bought this kit. It's nice and compact like this, kind of easy to travel. It has a little slip pocket on the front here, and then inside it comes with like every single size wooden needle from like, this looks like the smallest, 2mm all the way to maybe 10. And it's cool because it has like different levels, so you can like organize them by size, and then you can fold the top over so they don't fall out. And on this side I've just added a couple of other needles I've got my 15mm, which I use to knit my scarf, and I've also got some 15mm circular needles that I haven't used yet, but I got particularly for a blanket or some sort of sweater. And then in the middle here are some like knitting supplies that have actually come in so handy. Got like some of these, which I didn't realise how much use I'd get out of. You just put them on to stop your fabric falling off when you've like paused for a bit. I've got like a little pair of scissors, which have been very handy, like a stitch keeper, safer. Some, oh, I've got double-sided hooky things. I didn't need to buy those then. Tape measure, I've got some kind of plastic threads, and stitch markers, and also this, which has been so fun. A couple of these. It's basically like a little count tracker, so you can keep count of like how many stitches or like what row you're on, which I found very helpful as well. The project that I have just started working on is this scarf for my niece. I think you saw a tiny clip of her in yesterday's section of the vlog with her rainbow boots. So I wanted to knit her a rainbow scarf, and I found this on eBay or Amazon, I think I said earlier in the vlog. And yeah, I've just started knitting her that. So I actually started learning how to do a rib stitch for this, which you can kind of see on a couple of rows here. But then I was just like, this is going to take me absolutely forever because I have to pay way more attention to what I'm doing. So I'm now just doing a garter stitch for the rest of the scarf, and yeah, it's going to take me a long time because it's way more stitches than my scarf was, and it might even be a bit too big for her. I'm really looking forward to just mindlessly continuing this when I'm watching telly and stuff, and I'll keep working on this until the wool for those projects out there arrive and the wool for my husband's scarf arrives. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog and found it helpful. It's been so fun filming and sharing this new hobby and experience with you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever tried knitting or crocheting. Let me know what one you prefer. I'm really looking forward to starting the crochet at some point. I've got so many other patterns that I've like downloaded that I want to make as well this year, but I'm trying to like rein it in a bit and not get too excited and carried away, because these projects are going to take a while to learn how to do. But I'm up for the challenge, so in the next vlog you'll see me knitting one of those sweater vests, and it might be a complete fail, but either way I'm really looking forward to learning some new techniques and skills, and yeah, showing you how I get on. Lots of love, guys. Mwah!